Well, I've had the Maxfoot MF30 for about a week, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and I'll tell you, I'm very impressed with this bike. I've had several e-bikes in the past, and I've had friends that have had different e-bikes than the ones that I've owned, and that includes electric bikes, something with an S bike, not a Suron. There were Trike bike, there was Rad bike, Rad Power. Oh, there's been several, a couple of Costco types of bikes. Anyway, this bike right here, this Maxfoot bike, is exceptional for a couple of reasons. One, build quality is it's very good, and a lot of e-bikes have great build quality, but this has just right up there with every other e-bike. It has a unique way they treated where a lot of the wires go into the frame. They put a plate on the outside of it rather than you having to fish wires in and out. You're able to take this plate off and get access to kind of the main hub of wires, which is a pretty great idea. Another thing that I really like about this bike is the power. The difference between 500 watts and 750 watts is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought that 750 watts would be better, but I mean, if you think about the math of it, just the simple math of it, it's it's 1/2 greater than what you have at 500, which is, another 250 watts. Plus this runs at least the output, the wattage output shows you 1,000 watts at peak. So when you go on the throttle heavy, it will show you that it's outputting 1,000 watts. That I think is one of the best things. Now, what I did is I went out and I climbed some hills, not some really steep mountain bike kinds of hills, but just like a couple of overpasses, a couple of 10% grade, or maybe not the 10%, 7 or 8% grade hills in neighborhoods, and it climbed great. You could feel it kind of through the bike's frame, kind of grunting down into a more power as it pulled, and I wasn't nervous one bit. Another thing that I like about this bike, the front wheel is a little bit bigger, and as I was coming down today from higher up on the hill, I was talking to the camera and I hit a big stick that was laying in the road, probably an inch something sized stick, inch around, a couple of 4 or 5 feet long. A branch had fallen out of a truck or something, and yeah, I hit it, and yes, I could tell that I hit it, but I just went right over it. Rather than it like twisting the handlebars, I just plowed right over it. The rear wheel power on this bike is new this year in 2024, and I got to tell you, I have never driven a front wheel bike where just the front wheel has power, but I have had the electric Trike bike, and I liked it. I didn't have any issues with it when I didn't know any better. I think there's ducks back there making quite a bit of noise. I don't think there's any alligators in Utah. But the difference between the electric bike and this is a 250 watts greater power. It's also, the Maxfoot bike is more expensive. But having to like weigh them out together, it's a no-brainer. The electric bike at $1,600 is what I think I paid for it, and this bike at $23, no contest at all. You just need to pay the extra, what is it, $700? It's well worth it. The amount of power, just the stability, and yes, the electric bike, however, does fold, so that may be a big deal for you as well. But just for overall satisfaction and that I like it better, yeah, the Maxfoot at $700 more. Yes, it's expensive, but it's definitely well worth it in power, in stability, in just so the reason that I have a 3-wheel bike is that I have multiple sclerosis and my right leg just doesn't work very well. And whenever I would be on either the 2-wheel electric bike that I have or the tricycle, my right leg would want to fall off the pedals. So I had to strap it in. And I was going to do the same thing with this bike, but it doesn't fall off, and I'm able to pedal. And with what that does for somebody in my physical condition is it allows me to put my foot on the pedal in a different way so that I can use it to exercise. And that difference right there is huge in my ability to bring my muscles to a state that is, they're never going to come back, but they're going to come back as far as they can with this type of configuration where I can put my foot on the pedal where the tib, fib, and ankle line up over the axis of the pedal. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. This axis point comes through at a right angle from the, I don't know what you call that thing, the crank where the pedal connects to, and where the pedal's center of gravity or center of pivot is. I want my tib, fib, and ankle to come right perpendicular to that. That's the only way that I can really ride and have any stability or any power to get my legs to not, first of all, foot not to fall off, and to be able to get enough power so that I can exercise my muscles the best that I can. Trying to think of the negatives. Well, when the box came, it was fully assembled except for the front tire, and it was pretty easy to put together. It was actually a breeze to put together. We got the front wheel on, tightened it down, and I went for a ride just moments after that. The cargo carrier, I feel like it's bigger than the cargo carrier on the electric bike. It comes with this case covering, which is, I guess it's a nice Corinthian pleather, but it's nice to have that because stuff flies out. I like that the front basket is a little bit smaller. It doesn't look like, grandma is out, getting groceries. It's nice and sturdy, and it's small. Again, the front wheel is bigger than the back wheels, which gives it a little bit better, tighter turning radius. That might not make sense, but that on this gravel path here, where I turned around, was kind of narrow, and I just crank the wheel and give it a little bit of torque, and I just come right around. This back wheel just kind of, the inside turning wheel just pivots. This back hub, rear hub, is not only does it have power, but it's also a differential, so these wheels will turn at different speeds, and everybody understands that probably. That's how cars have to, because if they just turned the same speed, one would skid because the other one was going to go faster. The braking system, I have to go with the electric a little bit better on the braking system. That's a hydraulic brake system. This is a mechanical. Is it any safer, less safe? No, it's the same. It's no problem. I don't feel like it's any bit better. Maybe it's a little bit stronger, but I've had my right hand doesn't grip so well, and I've come down mountains in this video right here trying to hold on to that right brake, and it doesn't grip any better than these mechanical brakes as far as I can tell. Now maybe it's the way I've got it set. Maybe and I know I'm not an expert in setting these brakes or calibrating them and stuff, so it could be that. The tire construction, yeah, the tire construction looks pretty good. I did deflate them like the second day, put some green stuff in it because the places that I go are very thick with thorns, and I don't need to have a flat tire when I'm out. The battery is pretty big. It says 89 miles on a battery charge, but it also says you shouldn't get the battery down below 30%. So I don't know how you test that. But I've gone 30-40 miles, I think, on the half of a charge. So for it to be 89 miles, you'd have to be pedaling on, pedal assist 1 level, never really hit the throttle. That's my feeling. Now I'm not absolutely positive, and your mileage may vary. So but as far as the bike's construction and durability and just the overall look, I really like it. Why'd I go with yellow? Because when I was 16 years old or 14 years old, my dad bought me a yellow motorcycle, dirt bike, a Yamaha YZ250 that I would ride around in the desert and be generally very crazy and reckless. And now that I'm 60, my son bought me a yellow bike to help me get healthy again after having long COVID and MS kind of stacked up on each other, and it's working. And so I'm very grateful for that, and that's why I went with yellow. Plus, I kind of like it. Green was a really cool color, but kind of sedate. I wanted to go with yellow. So there you have it. That's my review of the Maxfoot MF30. I think it's amazing. The guys at Maxfoot were great to work with. We did have to supply pictures of credit card and driver's license, which felt a little strange, but it was just because of, I don't know exactly why we had to do that, but that's what we did. And we redacted a bunch of stuff on it, but they gave us the green light and shipped it out. Why they had to do that, I'm not sure, but it ended up being no big deal. And the bike came 4 or 5 days later from California to Utah, and like I said, it was mostly put together. Just had to put the front wheel on. Like I said, the guys at Maxfoot were great to deal with. The bike is amazing. This new rev with this new version with the rear wheel drive is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I don't think I would like the front wheel, especially if you're going up hills and it starts like slipping. Most of the weight, everything's back here, so I wouldn't want to have that. So I'm glad that we got this version, and there you have it. Thanks. Wheelchair Explorer out on another adventure. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'll let you know when my next adventure is ready, so that we can explore the outdoors together. Thanks for watching. Tom.